SBR Forum videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and right now we are going to preview the 2012 Kentucky Derby, the first leg of the Triple Crown. We're going to do it with SBR Moderator and horse racing handicapping expert Reload. We do this every year with Reload, and we've gotten some very profitable advice in years past. Reload, how you doing?
Doing well, Peter. Thanks for having me on again.
All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's a gentleman's sport, horse racing, and I don't know if you can see this, but I'm actually wearing a shirt with like cufflinks and like a pink collar. It's a little bit sophisticated, upper class, which is what this is. But let's find some winners here, some winning bets in the 2012 Kentucky Derby. It's actually a very interesting race. This race is wide open, and I have a quote here from Churchill Downs oddmaker Mike Battaglia, which really shows how wide open it is. He's been making Derby morning line since 1975, and he said this week, "I cannot remember a year when I thought it was so close between this many horses."
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, Peter. A lot of horses coming in pretty strong from the preps.
Yeah,
and some interesting long shots to take a look at as well.
All right, well, let's start with the favorites. What about Bodemeister? He won by 9.5 lengths in the Arkansas Derby. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it was an impressive win, but I do think Bodemeister's still a little green to take the Derby here. Only 4 starts, and I'm going to look elsewhere on the sheet for some better value there.
And then Union Rags. Union Rags was pretty much looking like it was going to be the consensus favorite until the Florida Derby, and he had kind of a troubled trip, but then closed pretty well, which might actually bode well for this race. Union Rags, what do you think of him as a favorite?
Yeah, again, I don't think it's worth the low odds to find out if Union Rags can bounce back here.
Right.
I could easily see Union Rags finishing out of the money when you think of the competition that it's going to have to go up against here. I did go against them in the Florida Derby, and I'm going to go against them here as well.
All right, and then there's Creative Cause, which is one of these maybe head case horses coming from the West Coast. Creative Cause is one of those horses that is always very close, but seems to have a hard time winning. And then there's a Gemologist, which is an undefeated horse and might be a little bit overvalued for that reason. So if you had a free bet and you had to take either Creative Cause, Gemologist, Union Rags, or Bodemeister, which one would you take?
I would go with Creative Cause.
Okay.
I looked at both of those horses a lot. I went against Gemologist in the Wood. Of course, I got burned there, but Creative Cause, I think, is going to have more value to take here. And I'm more impressed with some of the closing kick that Creative Cause brings to the table. With Gemologist, you're kind of just hoping he's going to follow form and blow everyone out again, staying at the front of the pack, which I'm just not big on when it comes to the Triple Crown races and the bigger distances.
Okay, and then let's talk long shots. It sounds like you're probably sensing that there are a bunch of long shots here that might have some legitimate value. Which long shots have caught your eye?
Doulahan actually has caught my eye. I wouldn't necessarily call Doulahan a long shot.
Right.
Probably going to go off at 8-1, 10-1. The morning line odds not quite out yet. They'll be out later today. I do think that Doulahan provides some nice value there as the Bluegrass winner. Hit career high speed there. It's got Kent DeSormo aboard, who's won 3 Kentucky Derbies, 3 of the last 14 or 15. So a lot of good value there with Doulahan. If you're looking for higher odds, I've got a couple of other long shots. I'm looking at Steven Asmussen's duo that he's going to be having entering the race. Paying off at some higher odds there with Daddy Knows Best and Sabercat. I like the looks of at least putting part of my bankroll on those two.